Hi. Well, it's been 2 weeks and I really enjoyed my break. I made some decisions, but I'm going to have 2 more weeks of a break. And because I'm still thinking through some things, I have made a decision though that I'm not going to go live weekly and I'm not going to do food videos anymore. I want to do my poetry and talk about politics and stuff. Poetry, prayer, and politics. Yeah. Um, I don't know if this is okay. This is, I don't know how you all feel about it, but I don't feel YouTube is for everybody. And I always wanted to be a writer, and I write poetry. And what I wanted to do on my channel was poetry. When I left Georgia in 2020, though, I was traveling in my RV. And so that's how I got into the van life RVing community. And some of you know how wonderful that ended up for me. Not in that community anymore. I've been enjoying my break. My son and I have been on a couple of hikes. Last week we went to a hike by the lagoon in Cardiff. And when I started my break, we went on a hike here in Ramona that was at it's down to a nice watering hole that's cool. The waterfall was not on though, but it was really lovely. It was a hard hike back up, but I made it. But anyways, I've been enjoying my break, and I'm enjoying not having to film whatever I'm eating and whatever I'm making for my son and and I filmed, you guys, everything I make. I make the same things over and over again. All the stuff I make is on my channel already. And I don't want to do food. I kept doing food because that's what was getting the views. And so what I want to do is want to write. I want to write. So, but I'm going to go live, my last live, on August 16th. I have considered, maybe someday I'll start a podcast. And I do have a blog. I will put my link to my blog below. I have a blog already, but I've also considered starting a Substack. Substack is the place where people blog these days. I'm on eBlogger. I've been on eBlogger since 2010. So that's the thing. I want to write. I want to write. I want to do poetry. I want to talk about politics. Like I said, I have a nanny job. I'm going to post my old videos. And yeah, that's what's going on with me. So look for my live. Probably will post it soon. Look for my last live on August 16th, which is my mom's birthday. So, yeah. Wait, I'm not done. So maybe I'll do a video like every Friday and let you know what's going on with me. And I want to have more time to write. And one of the numerous reasons for my husband and I splitting up is because he wanted me to get a job and he wanted me to stop writing. And that's what I was doing. That's what I was writing. I wanted to write. I was writing a blog, and I had been writing a Christmas letter every year, but as the kids got older, I had more time, and I was writing a blog. And he didn't want me to do that. So that's what I've been wanting to do, is write. And when I started the YouTube was when I was thinking of leaving Georgia and traveling in my RV. And that wasn't, by the way, because of watching YouTube videos of people living in their RV. It was because of a lady I met in a narcissistic recovery group who got out of a narcissistic marriage, and she traveled in her RV. She was going to for 2 years, and she ended up doing it for 4 years with her little dog. My original plan was to take my dog with me, but my dog was very nervous, and she didn't particularly like travel, and wanted to be in my lap when I was driving the U-Haul with all my stuff and sorting it all out. And so yeah, that was then. So when my green card guy happened, that was 2018, right? When I wrote the piece about him, and it's on, the first one I wrote about him is still on my blog. It's called "Look What You Made Me Do," for the Taylor Swift song. And that I had put his Twitter, a link to his Twitter in the post, because I was so angry. And there wasn't really anything I could do. I had went to the cops. They said call immigration. There was just nothing I could do. And so I wrote this blog post, and then when I got really upset, I put his Twitter link in it. And so he got mad, and he got my whole blog taken down. And so I was furious, and he called me, and I had been trying to get him to call me since before I realized he was fake, being fake. Because he had left Georgia, but he hadn't left the U.S., but he had lied and said he went back to Saudi Arabia, which was a lie. And then he said he was coming back in October. Like, what he went through, because that was when he was under Trump. Speaking of politics, he was under Trump's travel ban because he was from Syria. He had lived in Saudi Arabia. He his family fled the war, and his mom was afraid of him being drafted and everything. And so yeah, I'm a sympathetic person. I was feeling, but under the Islam ban, he was banned, but he was able to come into this country because he was grandfathered in because he got his visa before the travel ban. But he went through a lot to get into the country, and he was detained and all of that. And so it wasn't until later I realized, I was like, I don't really think he left, because also he wouldn't call me on the phone. Because it says where you are when you call on the phone. But anyways, but when that happened, I had said on Facebook, I was so angry. I had said on Facebook, look for me on YouTube. And so that's when the YouTube thing started. And then, I just started doing all the food, because that's what I always do, is cook for people. And when I went up to St. Louis, I was cooking a lot for my friend Gladys. And then when I went to California, I was cooking for my sister-in-law when I was taking care of, and my brother, when I was taking care of my sister-in-law when she was ill in stage 4 cancer. So cooking's what I do, so that's why I started with the cooking. In my first viral video, I'll post a link. I will post it on my community tab too. Was a turkey sizzling in the oven when I was at Gladys's, and I made a turkey breast for Thanksgiving. But anyways, but yeah, that's how it happened that I came onto YouTube. So that's a little bit of my story, but I am, what is my name, y'all? Red-Headed Riding Hood. Writing with a W. W-R-I-T-I-N-G. So, yeah. And, yeah, so that's what I want to do. I want to write. So, I'm going to let you guys go. Don't say that no one cares for you, because I do, and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you. Bye.